welcome back to the channel. We're gonna go over our markets live, guys. This is pre-recorded, by the way, just so you know. I'm pre-recorded, but in the comment section and the live stream chat, I am there answering your questions and responding to comments. So please stay interactive, be the mentor you wish you had, and answer questions if you see them, ask questions if you have them. I'll respond to your comments as we go. But this me from the past, I'll be going through markets really quickly. I don't want you to be surprised there, guys. I like telling you the full unvarnished truth. Fear and Greed Index is currently 31. That's the score right now. We are moving up in terms of market sentiment. Why would that be the case? Well, it's almost always correlated with price, but there's some news articles as well that are going to assist in helping people feel better about markets. This is our current chart over on tradingview.com. We're just using the free version of TradingView with a couple of indicators all the way up to the maximum limit of indicators that they allow us to use for free. MACD indicator below the bottom, that's the moving average convergence divergence. What does that mean? That means that over time that a 50 and a 200 day average are represented as lines, as you see down below, the red and the blue line. Give me a second to think about my colors. Blue line down there below, and as they converge, then it flips either bullish or bearish. See that? Red or green. And then the histogram, or the amount of amplitude that each one of those little bars on the bar chart there shows us roughly how much there's been a divergence between the 50 and 200 day moving averages. And then when they converge, it flips the other direction. As it starts to diverge, we see those heavy histogram bars. So that's all the moving average convergence divergence tool is, MACD. There you go, simple explanation. That's why I like using it. It can be explained simply. It makes sense just having a couple of moving averages, then having them cross over, and then showing maybe how much that crossover has resulted in differences. So over time. Our current ranges, though, let me zoom out. You can see we've got green for DCA, yellow for either slow down or go faster, still DCA if you feel like it, red for stop, and then what's more red than red? Ultraviolet means definitely stop, you're going to get wrecked. Shout out to some of the market pundits who called this top and told people that they could get wrecked. Here we are, almost a full year in the past, and I mean, shoot, to Richard Hart's credit, he did call it here. I know people who took that to heart, pun intended, took that to heart and actually sold somewhere in this range, or after the bounce, right, the recovery here, sold and then basically laughed at everybody else as Bitcoin tumbled down to this range. Now, of course, once it returned and it retested $70,000, it didn't seem like, okay, that was the perfect call. But there were people who tried to mortgage their homes over on this return, this run up. And I was saying, like, okay, look, I clearly this has come back up into a range that is undeniable, but I'm not going to go selling personal items or refinancing, high ticket items that I own in order to acquire Bitcoin right now. It just seems like there's a storm brewing. Sure enough, it did. And we tumbled back down. We've been in that DCA range for a while. And more recently, specifically, I've said we may be on a downtrend. Clearly, every single time I try to draw chopsticks here on the chart, it winds up surprising me. Again, you don't tune into this show for my technical analysis. That's not what I offer. Hey, have I red screened you lately? Has that happened, guys? You missing the red screen? Because you know I need to show it. Yeah, not legal, financial, or business advice. Boo-hoo. I know, you were really hoping to, I'm sure. But that's not what we do around here. If you're new, don't offer legal, financial, or business advice. Occasionally we do look at charts, though, and we do try to make some sense of them so we're not blind to what's happening in the markets. The charts are actually one of those few things that we can take a look at dispassionately, and it's not like the news sources that always have this spin or trying to make us feel a certain way. So as long as we look at them without emotion, without passion, they can sometimes teach us something about what's happened recently and maybe a little bit of what to expect. Maybe. But I don't put too much stock in that either, guys. There are some people who are way better at that game than I am. The yellow range is continuing, though. We did break out above $40,000, and current price just shy of $42,000 on Bitcoin. Very, very healthy Bitcoin price. A little outside of where I like to DCA, and it's certainly not a value buy with the recent with the recent markets, the mid 30s was maybe a value buy. And we had plenty of opportunity to DCA through that and pick up some Bitcoin a little bit cheaper, if that's your thing, right? If you're wanting to just DCA or get some value purchased Bitcoin. In my mind, there are still really great opportunities within the DeFi and NFT space. And that's why I've continued to look at gems, guys. Why I'm actively sifting through projects that have been launching or are recently launched or are going to launch and about to go through a TGE, a token generation event. Just to be very, very clear with you guys, I'm interested in getting serious returns on my investment. And I hope you are too. I hope that's why you're following me. I hope you're taking that seriously. Now, some may say, and I've gotten a couple of comments, people saying like, all right, well, you're obviously showing these scam coins or whatever. I don't view it that way. I really don't. I view the Gem Hunter series as an opportunity to get exposure to new projects. I mean, like intellectual exposure to new projects, and occasionally possibly be able to take a position in some of these projects before they pop off. And I want to try to bring that opportunity to you as early as possible. Mining was that opportunity for you 3, 4, 5 years ago when I first started talking to you about it. It's not going to print the same multiples right now in the next couple of months that some of these gems will. I hope we can agree that Ethereum is very unlikely to 10x in the next couple of months, but some of these gems might. And so I'm not going to apologize for that. I'm trying to bring them to you as fast as I can. And sometimes that requires that I reach out to these projects and that I only work with certain projects that show enough liquidity early on that they can pay for my time. That might sound weird, but I'm trying to be as transparent about that as I can be. So I hope it's all right, guys. Let me know. If you have a serious problem with that, let me know. Here's the thing. I want this to be a conversation that we have ongoing, and you tell me what kinds of projects you want me to cover, what kinds of projects you think are worth the attention and should get more exposure early on, and try to connect me with their leadership. Obviously, I don't only cover paid for projects. Clearly, I've got the portfolio where we've got all kinds of really strong fundamental, small cap, very hidden projects. So I want to cover stuff that's of value to you. That's what I'm saying. And in some cases, I wouldn't have even known about these projects had they not reached out and not paid for my time to go through their documentation. I just would not have been able to find them any other way. So I'm finding no conflict there. But if you feel strongly, guys, it's a community. I want you to feel comfortable just telling me, okay? So let me know. But that's the chart. Go ahead and lock that in. Already locked in there, actually saved right there. I don't think we're in a good position to redraw these lines right here, but we are getting higher lows on these little bounces. So it looks like maybe we're trending upwards. But let's see, 42. That wicked up to 42.3. We haven't gotten above the most recent really solid green candle day from before that. So what do I make of this? Guys, not much. And I don't think you should take too much stock in me like drawing lines on a chart here. But these ranges, I think, still hold. So if we did dip really far into this range, I would say continue to value buy. Bitcoin may go all the way down to 15K, guys. That's the thing. Bitcoin may go all the way down to 15K, but I still think it would be a value buy in the 30s because I think it will eventually go well above 30K. I think it is a long game. So to be clear, I've got in my portfolio, I've got a significant chunk allocated to speculative plays right now because they make sense. Some of these gems make sense. Like you can buy more Bitcoin if you have more crypto. It's not rocket science, right? But if you're only DCAing in, then your play money only goes so far. Your investment capital only goes so far. Is this advice? No. That's just how I'm handling things right now. But it shouldn't be a shock, guys. You've seen the direction of the channel over recent months and over the last year or two. All right, guys. Cost to mine one full Bitcoin. If you had an Antminer S9 right now, you would need at least below 9 cents, almost 9.5 cents per kilowatt hour power. That hasn't changed very much. At the 5 cent mark, though, you're doing pretty well, even on an aging Antminer S9. Let's take a look at the 104 terahash and then 3350 watts. Antminer S19J Pro. This is going to be another really awesome option for you right now. It's available. You need 25 cent power to break even. And at 5 cent power, you're buying your Bitcoin for about 8.5. That is the deal of the century. Bring it up to 8 cent per kilowatt hour power, which I think is accessible to most people. Now you're looking at 13.5, and I think that is really good, sort of bear market resistant Bitcoin acquisition price. I think if you're getting it for less than that, even at the 8.5, it's not bad. You'll be okay. But people who are saying that Bitcoin's going to be $10,000 or $11,000, I don't know if I believe that. And if it does, I don't believe that's going to be an extended position for Bitcoin for very, very long. I think you'll be very happy with Bitcoin if you mine it at $13.5 or at $15,000 per Bitcoin. You'll be very, very happy with that Bitcoin for a long time. And and you'll be getting it as close to Coinbase transaction as you can. You will be getting it as privately as you can. A lot of good reasons to mine Bitcoin if you're interested in mining Bitcoin, I think. Mining Ethereum right now, maybe a little bit less a good option, but we'll go into that in just a minute. So back to that fear and greed index. Score of 31. What's affecting it? Some of the news. Here's part of it. Daily Hodl talks about Novogratz, saying that he thinks Bitcoin will not be used as currency, reveals what will accelerate adoption. First off, I actually don't need to see anything else that Novogratz is saying here. Bitcoin is already currency. It's already legal tender in more than one country. And there are proposals to have it accepted as legal tender in a significant greater number of countries and states here in the United States. That trend isn't slowing down. It's not reversing. Pretty much, we're seeing a complete trend toward Bitcoin being viewed as legal tender, including Lightning Network implementations, including privacy-oriented wallets, including all the privacy benefits of using mixers like, or using CoinJoin, Whirlpool clients like Samurai Wallet, which we've talked about numerous times on the show, all being intact. That trend isn't slowing down. So Novogratz has an interesting idea there, but the adoption curve is not going to be slowed down by Bitcoin being used as legal tender. And that is already happening right now. So not being used as currency? Nah. I can't get on board with that opinion. A very qualified person in terms of his investments from the past, but I just strongly disagree with such a blatantly, obviously false opinion. Bitcoin's already in that position. Why would that change? All right, guys, that's some of the news, but I think that's FUD. ZY Crypto really been having trouble loading on my system lately, but apparently there is a bull signal being flashed by Ethereum right now. Let me just give you the high-level overview. I'll just talk to you right here, talking head style. But apparently, Ethereum is showing a bullish signal with over 200,000 Ether pulled from exchanges in one day. I think this is huge. I think the trend towards decentralization is very important. It doesn't matter whether Ethereum moves to proof of stake or not for people, for this behavior of investors to be very bullish, right? I don't think this is because of the proposed move towards proof of stake of Ethereum. I think that there may be some other reasons. For example, right now, without giving like Pulse or Hex undue screen time, because I'm not like a nonstop promoter for those projects. I think there are a lot of people who are interested in lining themselves up to receive the Pulse chain airdrop when that happens, and it's going to be a complete mirroring of every token that exists on Ethereum right now, including the Ether token. Now, it's not going to be super profitable to have Ethereum in in an on-chain wallet, in a self-hosted, a non-custodial wallet, because the rate of Ether to Pulse is not going to be that attractive, right? It's not, versus people even buying it at launch, not going to be that attractive. But people who have some Ethereum, at least in those wallets, and then other ERC20 tokens, may receive a full copy of those tokens or an airdropped duplicate of those tokens over on Pulse Chain when it launches, and depending on whether or not there are admin keys to those ERC20 tokens or how those projects choose to treat them, it may be just treated as a mirrored supply over on Pulse Chain. So I think that may be a reasonable assumption that this could be part of why that happened. I don't think it's the full story. I do think people are just also really concerned about centralization and being on centralized exchanges and all of the censorship that's happened lately with people having accounts shut down or having wallet addresses blacklisted or having their centralized exchange accounts shut down because of sanctions. So I think there's serious unrest because of people just being anxious about their money not being accessible, their crypto not being accessible when they need it. And who could blame them, right? But in additional news, GameStop is starting to talk about its exclusive NFT marketplace. Ooh. So apparently, they've hired dozens of additional individuals with experience in areas like blockchain, gaming, e-commerce, and technology, product refurbishment, and operations. And let's see. Had a quarterly loss. But when's the date, guys? When's the date? There you go. So, NFT Marketplace should be launched by the end of the second quarter of the fiscal year 2022. That was a big article for not telling us very much, right? I mean, I was actually lining this up hoping there'd be a little more to it than that, but there you go. GameStop is going to have some kind of an NFT Marketplace end of Q2 of this year. That's not a very long time, but here's the thing. It doesn't take all that much to create a centralized marketplace. It doesn't. Web 2.0 kind of established all this sort of thing, right? Shopify, Squarespace, and it's not that they're going to use those tools, right? Those front end tools, but they may be able to use other open source or free front end hosting tools that give them a really solid database that they can then correlate over to on-chain metrics and then do their own custom database to blockchain handshake, however they see fit. Right? Their own tie-ins there with those blockchain SDKs. So I don't think it really takes that long to build what they say they're going to build or to test it and then to launch in that time frame. But if they don't, GameStop's name is mud. So GameStop, make sure that you make this happen. You really don't have that much time before there is maybe a very, very sharp correction in the markets towards NFTs. And if you guys are going to do this, you got to do it right. But yeah, you do have to make it happen in that time frame. So Godspeed, GameStop. Hopefully they make it, right? We want them to make it, I think. It's a bit like that SEC case against Ripple. You don't have to love Ripple to want the SEC to go eat a whole bag of gummies. So let's check out our current TX Street gas prices on Ethereum. We'll edit the parameters here. I don't have the option to make this. I don't have the option to make this hold on to a specific number of metrics. I wish I did. For some reason, it just doesn't hold those for me. All right, so now we got all those in place. Edit some of this over on Bitcoin. I think the only thing I'm interested in over on Bitcoin is just the median price. Currently 41 cents to send a Bitcoin transaction. Great time for coin joins. Great time to bust open your Samurai wallet and keep your stuff fungible. Oh my gosh. Gas fees on Ethereum, $1.48 to transfer the coin itself, $3.84 to initiate a smart contract. Clearly, this is exactly the right time for you to go mint some NFTs, for you to go transfer your ERC20 tokens, for you to go use DEXs, for you to provide liquidity, for you to engage, if you're a hexagon, to engage in new stakes or initiate smart contracts. Whatever you need to do to ping the smart contract network on Ethereum, right now is the primo time. Like, don't let the grass grow under your feet. I guess it's Saturday night. Most of us are thinking about not doing that, not tending to our portfolio. But man, I got some ideas right now. I really do. Might right size a couple of things in my Ethereum based portfolio. Good to see that, guys, for sure. All right, that's TX Street. Those are our transactions. Over on DeFi Llama, Ethereum is trailing in dominance as I promised it would be. And the rate actually has picked back up again. It is about a percentage point every 2 weeks. We're at about 55% market dominance in DeFi for Ethereum. And I think that trend is going to continue, guys. I really don't see it slowing down. I really don't know what people are smoking when they say that like the move to proof of stake is going to be so bullish. Watch watch Ethereum come out on top. This is going to be crazy, and you're crazy if you don't stick with Ethereum. Dude, the market is speaking so much more loudly to the opposite, right? That's not true. It's just not true. Clearly, it's not true. DeFi is hemorrhaging out to all these other places. Even though the dollar amount may be staying the same over on Ethereum, there's so many new places for capital to move to that their slice of the pie is shrinking. And if these other options look more attractive, well, guess what? Some of that capital will fly directly out of Ethereum over to other chains, over to other DeFi projects. And I think we can validate that. Let's take a look at DeFi Llama's breakdown of some of the other ecosystems. Let's look just at EVM style chains right now. Look at the stack ranking as we normally do. And it looks like within that ecosystem, yes, Ethereum is over 70% dominant, but that could change. It looks like there is a downward trend there as well. As of the beginning of this year, let's go right up to January 1, Ethereum was at 75% dominant. So it's already lost roughly 5% in dominance within the EVM style chains. BSC is still number 2. I don't think there's any dethroning BSC. It's got that really strong brand recognition with Binance. It's got all of that capital locked in there that's been there since they first launched and gave people an option outside of Ethereum to have low fee, low cost DeFi vehicles. All the degens from crypto Twitter, all the degenerates in the NFT space, all the degenerates in the yield farming space immediately latched onto BSC, and they clearly haven't moved. They haven't gone anywhere. So I don't see that trend slowing down either, unfortunately. I wish it would, actually. Frankly, I wish it would, but it's not slowing down. Avalanche is our number 3 by way of TVL, Phantom, and then Polygon. Polygon still in the top 5, which is important to acknowledge. Here's something that's kind of interesting as well. Chronos, EVM style chain, operates as EVM, but I believe has the Tendermint consensus protocol and is actually part of the IBC or the Cosmos ecosystem. Kind of an odd duck, but it's cool to see. It's really cool to see. I'm becoming a little bit fascinated, actually. I know I need to dig into Chronos a little bit more by way of like its functionality and its value proposition. I do worry about it being relatively as centralized as BSC is, but I know I need to learn more. I have not engaged with the documentation enough. So please do remind me or let me know what you've learned about it or if you're excited about it, because I think it's interesting that it's there. And any day now it could flip in Polygon by way of TVL because they're both in that $3 to $4 billion TVL range. Polygon down by 12% over the last month, so not looking awesome, but 7-day change is up pretty high. Let's go ahead and move into biggest gainer view here. Wow, Binance, just the Binance coin itself, their governance token has done really well over the last 7 days. That doesn't seem quite right. Nope, I'm sorry, TVL. It doesn't seem quite right, but yeah, maybe we shouldn't use this tool in this way. I'm starting to get that sense. Let's go ahead and go to protocol stack view, and we see that Ethereum, of course, is number 1, BSC number 2, Polygon number 3, Phantom number 4, right behind it with Avalanche trailing behind. Polygon is keeping pace. You see that 209 protocol level there, or number of protocols that are supported there. I do think that Polygon is still one of the best options outside of Ethereum if you want something that's relatively decentralized, not as centralized as Binance Smart Chain. I realize I'm going to get some pushback from the audience, and you know what? Fine, go ahead and give me pushback. Whatever. They've been moving towards a DAO structure. They've added some ZK roll-up tech to their roadmap, and they're almost ready to launch it. And yeah, they had some downtime recently because of the Tendermint consensus protocol of one of their sub-chains or one of their base layer chains. It's not flawless. I'm just going to say that. Every layer 1 has problems, without exception, right? Ethereum had its CryptoKitties moment by being the first to ever have a problem like CryptoKitties. And then Polygon had a problem with a little bit of downtime. Solana has had multiple validator network restarts. So there have been some of these problems across all the L1s over time. It's just to be expected. Polygon has not had as much downtime as Solana, for example. And Avalanche, while it's been doing really great, is just not showing up with as many partnerships, right? As many protocols. Phantom is. So if Phantom can keep its shirt on, right? If it can maintain that uptime, then who knows? Maybe it will really start to give BSC a run for its money by way of that TVL. Maybe it'll flip in Avalanche by way of TVL. And maybe the logic that I've been using will apply to Phantom the way it's been applying to Polygon. But I'm still pretty happy with Polygon. I'm not going to lie. I'm very, very happy with Polygon so far. So I'm not making any quick moves there. I probably might consider diversifying a little bit, but you tell me in the comments, do you have a favorite EVM? Let's look at our roll-ups. We don't normally do this, but yeah, Arbitrum, yay, and then Optimism. Arbitrum really is a credible threat, though, to the rest of this ecosystem with that $2 billion of value locked on top. But I'm not too interested. I'm not too interested in ZK in roll-up tech right now. I'm just not. If people say that one of the problems with they say that one of the problems with Polygon is that Ethereum proof of stake is coming. Well, if that's true of Polygon having a problem, what does that mean for roll-up tech? I mean, whatever. To each their own. There is TVL locked in all of these platforms right now, and a lot of this is speculative, which is why I'm okay with it being speculative. But I'm not going to get all religious about it and say there's only one true chain. Nah, man, miss me with that. Let's keep our minds open. Let's try to make money by keeping our minds open here. All right, guys, Cosmos ecosystem. Terra is just killing it with 90% of the entire TVL, 90% dominance with, $26 billion locked into Terra. So it's really difficult to reconcile that fact. It's just not going anywhere else. Let's go with the TVL view there. Osmosis is number 2. It's only one protocol that is there, but you have so many liquidity pairs that are on Osmosis. It's not a big shock, right? It's of course going to maintain a number 1 or number 2 status here. And if you could lock everything from Terra into Osmosis through IBC, then who knows? Maybe that would even flip in at some point, but seems unlikely at this point. Terra not gaining any new protocols recently, but the current protocols are just killing it, right? Anchor, Lido, etc. They're all just very, very dominant over many of the other protocols that we see across the other DeFi chains. Moving into the Polkadot ecosystem, here's the parachain breakdown. A star is doing well. It's dominant by way of TVL, but still all of these are under $1 billion TVL. What does that mean? Well, I think the numbers here kind of speak to what that may mean. You've got 34% up, or 34% to the upside in the last month for a star. That's huge. That's way bigger than some of the other protocols that we've seen. Some of the other chains that we've seen in these breakdowns. In terms of just a 1 month change, I think that there's far more potential in some of these Polkadot parachains than I previously gave them credit for. That said, there are some that have just taken an absolute beating, gotten their teeth kicked in, like Energy Web and Shiden down pretty hard. Moonbeam very, very much getting beat down right now. But they still do have TVL. They're still working out some of their use case early on. And I mean, who knows? They may hit the knee of the curve and just like we saw with Wax, just really pop off after they finally do dial in those use cases. So I'm not going to turn my back on these parachains. I did during the auctions. I did during the early phase of Polkadot and the Polkadot ecosystem. And I think that was a mistake, guys. I think that I did you a disservice by being so dismissive of Polkadot. So I think we are going to start putting some of these parachains into a custom portfolio tracker over on CoinGecko. Speaking of which, let's move out of the DeFi Llama overview. Take a look at Map of Zones. This is going to tell us more about that IBC ecosystem. Remember, this is just another data point, just another tool. Shows us roughly the on-chain activity over here. So even though Terra has that massive TVL, where is it by way of daily usage? Not that high. It's not even in the top 5 at this point. We see it way down in number 7. What is number 1? Osmosis. What's number 2? Cosmos, then Stargaze and Juno. We can get all of that data over on Map of Zones, and I think this is as important as any other number, especially TVL. We want to see that it's useful. I think that's important before we worry too much about just TVL. TVL is like market cap. When used incorrectly, it can be a false metric, it can be a vanity metric, and it sometimes doesn't really show us the true value of a blockchain project. So yeah, I think we got to be a lot more careful about just looking at TVL. All right, guys. What to Mine is showing us that mining profitability is back up. That's right. Ethereum mining is back, but not by that much, right? So standardizing to 14 cent per kilowatt hour power. We've got that RTX 3090 now at $3.42 daily profit. So it's back. It's good, but it's not sustainable. And we know this because the Ethereum core developers are now rattling their sabers and talking about a potential switch to proof of stake as early as June. Do I think that's really possible? Do I think they could really pull this off? No, I don't. I really don't think they can. And I'm going to take to heart some of the feedback that Bits Be Trippin', Michael Carter, has offered in many of his live streams and in many of the podcasts that I've watched him talk about this potential change for Ethereum going to proof of stake. He's said that the moment that he sees all the testnets, everything kind of line up in the repositories and get all the thumbs ups and checks and all the issue tracking kind of past the point where it needs to be, that he's guessed that it would take about 6 months. So June seems way too optimistic as far as getting proof of stake fully rolled out for Ethereum. That said, we do know that the writing's on the wall now. We are starting to hear about lockup periods for proof of stake. We are starting to hear about really weird policies that the core devs for Ethereum want to put in place for this transition. And so is it all targeted at proof of work miners? No, but we know that the profitability of proof of work mining for Ethereum is not going to last forever. So, I've got some concerns. It would be important to look at some of the alternatives and see where your profits are there. And when we do that, a close number 2 that's not related to Ethereum or Ethereum mining is only $2.40 per day on that same RTX 3090. I've been saying it for a while, guys. At those profits, you're looking at an ROI of well outside of 100 days. You're looking at close to 1,000 days on cards like the RTX 3090. Those are not good economic figures for breaking even on new capex. So you'd be crazy, I think, to buy like 1,000 of these cards, right, or 200 of these cards right now. It would just be insane. Even 10 of these cards, I don't think it makes sense as of right now. And I've been saying this for a while. Do be careful about who you listen to saying you should definitely buy cards or you should follow their affiliate links to buy on Amazon. Top dollar for these cards. Be cautious, guys. Stay safe. Don't overcommit. Don't overcapitalize on hardware for GPU mining right now. That said, it's back up. I don't want to be all Debbie Downer. It is back up. So you're back in the money if you already have some of these, or if you got some cheap, or if you want to acquire some really cheap. Moving all the way down the list, obviously the bottom of the line, if even that is in the money, then yeah, things have reversed a little bit. But most of this isn't in the money. Again, this holds. See that? Z Classic, negative profit. Ycash, negative profit. So I think that's a better indicator right now of what to expect in the very near future for any one of these cards. Most profitable coins to mine, guys, it's the usual suspects: Ycash, Z Classic, it's Ethereum Classic, Equilibria, Zero, Beam, Raven. These are all projects that we're aware have good profit margin on GPUs. Moving up the list, Conceal, Ryo Currency, BitTube. Wow, I didn't expect to see BitTube on the list right now. G-Link, I'm not familiar with, so let's take a look at that in a new tab. Gemlink, I didn't say Gemini Link. Gemlink. Wow, okay, we're going to have to take a look at Gemlink over on our portfolios, see if we can add that here. G-Link, do you even show up? Yep, it's there. So that's now in our portfolio. We can take a look at that later on, do an entry at some point in the near future. Not going to do that tonight, guys, but it's there in the portfolio. G-Link, clearly profitable. We're going to take a look at its historical data to see if it's worth holding, because if it's profitable right now, you might have to try to dump it, right? Market dump it. Just going to be very, very brutally honest in order to get those 70 cents per day on that 1660 Ti, right? Or that 1070 Ti. Moving up the list though, guys, some of these cards, the GTX 1080, you're actually more profitable on Z Classic than you are on Ethereum. Wow. Okay, things have totally flipped, but it's far better, I think, in this case, to look at the Ethereum daily profits. All the way up the list, Conflux and Firo. Where are you? No Firo, no Flux as of right now. Looks like the current profitability has kind of flipped out of their favor. Nope, Firo is on the 3080 Ti. And those are all the coins that are profitable to mine on GPUs right now. Our portfolio is showing on GPUs. Flux is still the leader. Take a look at the last 7-day price action. Equilibria had the most upside. Haven had second. It's currently 420. Wow. The likelihood of that being the case. So currently $4.20. We've been talking about it since it was under $2, guys. Again, I told you that I thought it had some upside, that it should reverse, but getting back to its all-time high of $26. I think for the faithful, right, the loyal in that community, $26 or $28, going over $30 again, that's going to be a really long road to get back there. I would be really cautious if you're sort of like revenge hodling, thinking that you're just going to make it all the way back up. I really do think you should be considering some kind of a stop loss before we get to that point. Who knows? Maybe it will ultimately get to that point, but I don't know that I'm convinced that Haven is a $50 coin or a $100 coin. I think that was the hope last year when it was running up towards $26. I think that it's rebased to a new support level. And again, this is not me as some kind of a specialist in this area or technician in this area. You do your own research, but tell me what you think about Haven in the comments. Do you think that it's got that kind of resilience? Do you think it's going to come back and just melt faces? I'm not seeing $30 or $50 Haven anytime soon. Do you see it differently? Tell me in the comments, guys. I want to hear your thoughts. But it did do really great this week. Had a really phenomenal week. Ethereum Classic and Firo did as well. Same with Ryo and some others. And then, yeah, the ones that have done well previously, not hitting it quite so hard. Biggest loser right now looks like Safecoin and Ton Token and Flux, actually, but only 3% down in a week. That's not much to complain about there. Hard drive mining, guys, our portfolio also looks like storage is back in the money by the tiniest little bit. 7-day change, though. MaidSafe coin has come up. Sia coin has come up. Storage has come up. Filecoin has come up. But Chia just keeps getting dumped on $66 without returning to profitability fast enough. I think I just jumped over our CPU mining portfolio. Let me jump back real quick and show you that Epic Cash is in the #1 spot. Yeah, it leapfrogged Raptorium by a tiny little bit. So you currently have 681% gains on that in your P&L. So yeah, that's a cool $6,800, guys, based on our current paper trade entries into those coins. 7-day, I think, is what really tells the full tale there. Monero is popping way up to 20 cents per coin, 62% up in a week. And I think, again, it has to do with that mobile full node tech that has been put forward by, Crypto Grampy. So shout out to Crypto Grampy and the Monero community, letting Monero be the testnet coin that it is, the test coin that it is. It looks awesome right now. Coming up to 20 cents per kilowatt, or 20 cents per coin, rather. Varus coin having a rally, really great week. Don't know why that is. Chart kind of looks weird still, almost looks manipulated still to me. I don't think the Varus coin team would like to see that, so please do be careful if you like that coin. Epic Cash in #3 over this week, and Raptorium doing okay, but not having as good a time as these three, right? 20, 21, 25, and 62% up in a week. Oh, incredible gains there. Can't wait to see how Monero looks compared to Doge. Where are you, Doge? Doge is currently at 12.3 cents. We did it. We did it. Ladies and gentlemen, Monero has completely flippened Dogecoin based on fundamentals because of the current market trend that we're in. It has to be fundamentals, and it has to be some other news. So that's exciting to see. For me, anyway. I love seeing that, guys. I really do. It's kind of one of those happy endings of the bad guy getting punched in the nose, or in the snout in this case. Anyway, Dogecoin, it's not that it's a fundamentally bad project. It's just that I think that Monero has such strong fundamentals by comparison. That said, Dogecoin has a market cap of $16 billion, and Monero only has a market cap of $11 million. So whatever, maybe Dogecoin could become sort of de facto currency for certain venues. Let's take a look at the 7-day change, and it looks like Pirate Chain is is up really, really high. Zcash is up as well. Crypto Bitlord over on crypto Twitter mentioned some kind of interesting stuff about Zcash. Look in the community tab of this channel or go check out my Twitter so you can see my response to him about that. But he's got some crazy theories about Zcash and about potentially wrongdoing that happened to Zuko, Wilcox, and what's happened in the whole Zcash ecosystem. His theory is that there's some kind of like just really, really dirty, shady stuff that happened as early as its first year in production. I don't know if I agree, but it was really funny. You got to go check it out. All right, guys. Zcash doing well this week, though. Bitcoin Cash right behind it. And then the 10% mark. A lot of coins did really well. 10% up over the last week, including Grin, Horizon, and Litecoin. But biggest losers, let's see. Just TBTC, so there's one wrapped representation. Everything else that's ASIC mineable has been up over the last week. Interesting to see how these proof of work coins have that really strong fundamental quality to them that in a week they can do 10% or more. Crazy, crazy, crazy. FPGA is doing really bad. Really bad. No, that's how they're doing. Only Nimic is in the profit since from our paper trade, but over 7 days, Telor and Nimic and Digibyte are doing a little bit better. Digibyte again with those strong fundamentals, but that's the reversal of a trend that was already really negative. 2 cents per coin is kind of what I thought it was going to stay at for a while, and it looks like it did just return by going up 9% to 2 cents per coin. So it was in the dumps not too long ago. And yeah, hopefully it can improve even more. I don't know, man. FPGA coins are not looking so hot right now, but good profit if you have the right FPGA in your mining. So consider flipping those. Proof of stake, smart contract networks, Terra, Avalanche, Phantom, Solana, Cosmos are our top 5. Wax is still right behind them. It's moving down to that $500 million mark, but it's got such a strong fundamental use case in terms of being dedicated only to NFTs and collectibles. I still think that Wax is going to be the little chain that could. I think it's going to be that fork of EOS that winds up maintaining relevance when EOS is dead and gone. And they can potentially rebase to other code bases that leverage some kind of DPoS style system or relatively locked in system that gives them the stability that their corporate partners would want. They're the only ones that got that contract with Topps, the Topps playing cards group that was able to launch a Garbage Pail Kids token that has MLB on board. They had so many other top tier brands on board for collectibles. I think Wax is going to continue to kind of surprise us. So just know that's my gut level feeling there. Last 7 days, though, looks like Avalanche had the best week. Kusama, Moonriver, Chainlink, Ethereum also had a pretty solid week. Neo, doing all right. So for the Neo faithful, but our entry is still down 62% in that paper trader. Cardano also having a great return after some damage control comments by Charles Hoskinson. There was a bit of news, negative news for the Cardano ecosystem and Cardano holders after Laura Shin, who wrote that book, the expose book, recently kind of put Charles Hoskinson on blast when she called up his alma mater and said, hey, did you ever have a PhD student by the name of Charles Hoskinson? And they said, yeah, we didn't even have a student by the name of Charles Hoskinson pursuing a PhD at all. When he said he was doing PhD work at a specific school, they said that he never did. So kind of a bad look for a project founder to lie about their education and background, if that's what happened. So you tell me, what do you think about Cardano? What do you think of Charles Hoskinson? I interviewed him just briefly once with Nerd Girl for her channel, and I don't know. He hasn't begged to be interviewed again. I don't think he needs that kind of publicity from me, but what are your thoughts on the guy? What are your thoughts on Cardano? Tell me in the comment section, guys. We're coming up to the close of this show, going over our portfolios, but I'd love to see your feedback down in the comment section. Smart contract networks, clearly not one of them had a bad week. That's important to note there as well. That side of the portfolio, really great week. Junk drawer, let's see what the case is over there. Everrise had a good week. Our position here is kind of fake, as we talked about before, because you can't own half of the coin supply because nobody knew about it. It was kind of off most people's radar. But 7 days, we're looking, Hedron, 49% down. Now, first off, I don't have a position for Hedron. We're just looking at the 7-day change. Volt Inu down pretty bad as well. I got some complaints from people in the comments of that video that they thought it was a scam. Please tell me what you found about Volt Inu. If you think that I should take that video down, I'm happy to do so, guys. Really, give me feedback. If you think that something has revealed exit scam quality or has been rugged, you got to tell me. I don't always keep up with every project that I've covered in the past. So for you to be able to tell me and warn me and say, hey, we should take this down because people are going to get hurt, tell me right away. Please do. It's serious. It's really important. And I want to know that I'm serving this community the best I can. So just real talk, tell me. Don't let me, don't let me like an idiot leave bad reviews up of projects that have broken bad, right? Have become evil. Because sometimes we just don't know. We just can't tell right up front. Guys, Hedron is an interesting project that I'm trying to learn more about right now that I'm interested in. So seeing it on sale, I think bodes well, personally. It's supposed to pair really well with Hex by way of providing liquidity on DEXs and potentially have a great future ahead of it when Pulse Chain launches. So I'm excited to learn more about that. Let's look at our winners for this week, not our losers. Maybe we should be looking at our losers more, though, right? That could give us some alpha. All right. Looks like it's going to force me to just scroll down. Serum. Wow. Serum doing all right. Quick Swap and D-Quick. Heck yeah. Solid recovery over the last 24 hours. That's like it. Look at that. Parabolic. Boom. Just pop right up. They did have a governance vote. They did talk to their community about the potential for doing a token split. And it looks like over 90% of the Quick Swap ecosystem or community has said that they want to do a token split. Now the big question is, do they want to do a 1/100 token split or a 1/1000 token split? We'll see what happens on the next governance vote. Looks like a lot of the community wants 1/1000. So it's in the let's see, what would that make it? It would make it right now at a current coin price of $246. It would make it 24 cents. 0.669. That's what it would do. So yeah, that would be pretty nuts, wouldn't it? I think so. But then it would have the option like, hey, do you want to, let's try to push it all the way up to $1, right? Quick to $1. Seems like an interesting way to go. But yeah, top 3, Quick Swap and Dragon's Quick by way of gains for this week. Bone not too far behind it. Same with Thorchain, really doing well, guys. Those are top 5 for gaining this week in the junk drawer. Let's take a look at our IBC gang. This is our limited subset of just IBC coins. Terra doing great. Cadena doing great by way of our initial entries. Secret also doing pretty great by way of our initial entries, as well as Osmosis and Cosmos Hub. But, not super huge gains in the rest of the group. A lot of those are in the red. 7-day gains, though. Let's take a look. Thorchain, again, shows up here because it is part of the IBC ecosystem. Persistence, making a little bit of a comeback, but only 15% over the last week. Certic, Akash, Terra, etc. Guys, I'm not shocked. I've talked about this publicly on Twitter. If you looked at my Twitter, Persistence is a team that I've had some interactions with due to work. They're extremely professional. They're not paying me to say this, guys. They're extremely professional in every interaction that I have with their leadership team. They have been very serious about contributing value to the IBC ecosystem. In fact, the Persistence SDK, then some of the standards that they've tried to write as a team have made their way into Cosmos Hub and IBC documentation. So they're a team that has been very serious about providing value, adding value to the Cosmos ecosystem. So to see them win so hard this last week, I'm never shocked, right? When I see XPRT pump in value. Some of the others, you'd hope that the fundamentals are strong enough, but I think just the fundamental value add that the Persistence team has given to the IBC ecosystem and the Cosmos ecosystem, I think does entitle them to experience some great price action in the future. I'd love to see them move to $1 billion market cap and see that coin value go up to $10 or more. That'd be amazing. I don't know if we're going to see it, but I wouldn't be shocked to see it, is what I'm saying. So, guys, that's our current IBC breakdown. Biggest loser bears mentioning, Sentinel. Pretty strong project. So it's fire sale, right? Sub-cent coins, right? 0.48 cents per coin on Sentinel right now. So if you are like a privacy hound and you like DVPN as a coin, might be a good buying opportunity there. worth noting, before we close the show. Guys, that's what I got for you on tonight's pre-recorded live stream. Yeah, let me red screen you again. Hit the wrong button there. That's what I got for you on tonight's pre-recorded live stream. Thank you so much for being here to support live, asking questions, answering questions, interacting with me in the comment section, guys. You're the reason that I make this media. I love your face. I know you've heard me say it before, but it's true. I love your face. Remember to stay private and mind your biz. Thanks for watching all the way to the end of the video. Remember to check out mineyour.biz, where you can sign up for Mine Your Biz Insiders, our occasional newsletter where we don't spam you, but we do send out occasional important information, including flash sales and important deals on privacy-preserving technology. This is one of the ways that we can talk to you without censorship and without the oversight of third-party media platforms. You can also check out the new Mine Your Biz phone, as well as merch, or sign up to become an affiliate for anything sold directly on the mineyour.biz website. You can earn a percentage of anything that we sell. Thanks for watching all the way to the end of the video. You're the reason I make this media. I love your face. Remember to stay private and mind your biz.